Girl, I see your face everywhere when I'm going out.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the US, the UK, and Canada, and we're going to be differentiating them based on my experience living in these countries. If this is your first time this channel, thank you for stopping by. My name is Obeyi, and on this channel I talk about myself as a mom and my career lifestyle. If this is the kind of content you like, please do well to remain on the channel. And for my old subscribers, thank you for the love. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for liking on this channel. I really appreciate your love and your support. And if you've not subscribed, kindly do well to subscribe to this channel. I assure you that there will be lots of things to learn. There'll be a lot of fun, and we'll be able to get to know each other and communicate better as we go on this channel. That being said, let's just dive right into it. So, like I said, I've lived in these three countries at some point of my life, and whatever I'm going to tell you here today is based on my experience living in this country. I am in no way an immigration consultant. I do not have all the information, and I'm not in any way giving you any immigration advice. I'm just telling you these informations based on what I experienced living in this country. And if you think you have experienced it differently or you have a different information, please kindly do well to leave it in the comment section. I'm sure other people will want to go there and see things, hear different ideas, hear different opinions, and then they can be able to make their decisions. So, yeah, I'm going to start with immigration. Most people try to travel using the student route, and we know to get admission in the UK is quite easy. It's not as tedious as that of Canada and America. Usually, when people want to get admission in about 3 weeks, maximum, sometimes even as short as 3 days, some people already have their cars and they are good to go apply for their visa and they are ready to move to the UK. It's not the same in Canada and America. The application system for admission in a school takes a little more work. Sometimes you find that you some courses you have to look for a professor who is willing to take you on to do your academic research. You also pay for admission fee, application fees. Like some schools will ask you for $100, $200, depending on the school. So it makes application for student admission in schools a lot tedious, right? But in the UK, it's quite easy. For me, when I was applying for my master's in social work in the UK, there were hurdles. I had to do like interviews and all that. So, but generally, it is quite easier for people to get admission in the UK, unlike in the US and Canada. It's more tedious. There are a lot of more things to put into place. Find a research, a professor who's ready to take you on your research, and also you have to pay for admission fees and application fees, and you don't want to spend so much money paying for application, right? But in the long run, in the UK, you need a sponsor to sponsor you when you get it. Like you need a job that would sponsor you for you to be able to stay after your schooling in the UK. But in America and Canada, it's not the same. There's enough jobs are easy to find, and then you can stay after you've finished your schooling, right? And even sometimes you find out that people come to visit Canada, and there's a program going on where you come to visit and you can look for a job, and after getting the job you get a temporary visa pending when you get your permanent residence. So the immigration system in these countries differ a lot, and it's up to you to choose which one you want. Do you want to get an easy admission and find it difficult to stay in the long run, or do you want to go through the tedious process of getting admission into school, and at the end of the day know that you stand a better chance of having a long-term stay in the country? So next we're going to be talking about jobs and the job market. I find that in America, based on my experience, there are tons of jobs. There are jobs like if you go to Indeed and you type jobs in your related field in any state close to you or in the state you live in, tons of job will come out. And if you interview and you interview well, you stand a chance of getting the job. That is what I find when, like, in my experience, that's what I experience. That's what I find. In Canada, there are jobs as well, right? But it might not be as much as in America. But is there job? Yes. Are there a lot of jobs? Yes. Do immigrants get this job? If you interview well, if you have the right resume, you have the right cover letter, you interview very well, you will get the job. But I find that in the UK, it is not exactly the same. It's not entirely the same. People now go to the UK with their spouse as dependents, and some of them have spouse who have been bankers for years, have master's degree. Some people have PhD degree, but when they come to the UK, they still have to end up doing care jobs. Now, are there jobs in the UK? Yes, but are people getting these jobs? Relatively, a few people are getting it, but the larger number of people still end up doing care jobs even after doing a master's in the UK. With their master's degree that they did in the UK, that master's certificate that they got in the UK, they still end up doing care jobs. The jobs are there, but we don't know why people are not getting these, skilled jobs. Now, so I think that in America and in Canada, it is quite different. I don't know why this is applicable, and if you have experienced it different, please try to leave it in the comments so we can, continue this conversation. But I feel like in the UK, people tend to settle for care job because they are applying and they are not getting jobs. So I do not really know why this is, but people tend to, get settled with menial jobs because they cannot just find a space in the job market. So now we're just going to go ahead and talk about healthcare. Generally, there's universal healthcare in Canada, right? Everybody that lives in Canada has healthcare. Now, the money for healthcare is removed from your taxes and all that, but it's generally free. Like you go to the hospital, you see the doctor for free. You might have to pay some amount of money for you to get medications, but it's usually negligible, right? Now, for your children, if you're low income, dental is free. But for you as an adult, you might have to pay maybe some copay for dental or maybe pay out of pocket. But generally, healthcare is free and it covers critical illnesses. In the UK, there's also universal healthcare, right? You are covered if you need to see a doctor. You also pay some amount of money to get your prescription drug. And of course, we know that you paid for your healthcare in your surcharge. But you know that if something happens and you need to go to the hospital, you're covered. You're not worried about that. On the other hand, in America, there is no universal healthcare. Your healthcare is tied to your job. So if you are doing a job where you have healthcare and for some reason maybe your job is toxic or you get tired and you want to quit your job, you are also quitting your healthcare pending when you find another job, right? So it's something to think about. If you are in America and you have a fantastic job, they cover your healthcare, they cover critical illnesses, so you're covered. You don't have anything to worry about. But if you don't have a fantastic job where they don't really cover so much, that means you might still have to pay out of pocket for some treatments. The copay might be exorbitant, it might be expensive. So, because we talked about jobs, let's just talk about salary, right? Everybody knows America has great salary scale. America's salary, forget it, is the best anywhere in the world. Like they pay you good money compared to other countries. America will pay you great rates, same job roles, same work experience, same everything in another country like Canada or UK. America pays the best. And their tax system is also good, right? It's depending on the state where you are, you don't pay so much. Tax system is great in America. So people love that about America, and I also think that that's very wonderful. On the other hand, in Canada, Canada has great pay, not as good as America, but it's not bad, right? They also have the progressive tax system like the UK, but that is just a little better than the UK, right? They tax you, but it's better than the UK. Now, if you do two jobs in Canada, they add up the amount for the two jobs you've done, and then whatever bracket that your salary or your gross payment falls in, that's what that's the rate at which they tax you. But my experience in the UK is totally different. Now, they don't pay as much as in the UK doesn't pay as much as in Canada, in America, and their tax system, oh my god, it is just like, you know, when I was in the UK, there was a time I did two jobs and I was put on a tax bracket called BR. I was charged almost 60% of what I made on that second job. Now you are doing two jobs because you cannot, make ends meet, and then you are getting charged 60% of your second job. If you have a different experience or you know something different about what I've just said now about that tax bracket in the UK, please leave it in the comment section. I would love to see your comments. But I know that the tax system is really, really high in the UK. So this is another thing to consider when you. So with all that being said, I know everybody has their different reason for wanting to relocate, right? Your reason for wanting to relocate is different from every other person's reason for wanting to relocate. But there's one thing I want to leave you with. Always think about the long-term plan on how you are going to legally remain in whatever country you decide to relocate in. Whether you're going in as a student, as a skilled worker, make sure you think about the long-term plan on how to legally stay in this country. The short-term plan isn't not only the only thing to consider. Consider what happens in the long run. Now, do I have a preference in these three countries? Not really. But all these countries, as we know, have their own pros and cons. And right now, I live in Canada, and Canada is just best for me and my family right now. I love the country. We have good jobs. People around the country are nice. There are wonderful amenities. The city I live in is not so busy. You know, you can go around the city in a very short time. I just think that right now it is the best thing for us, and I'm glad that we made the decision. And if I'm going to change my mind tomorrow, I don't think so, because right now it is great for us. We've come to the end of today's video. I want to say thank you very much for liking, for sharing, for subscribing. And if you've not subscribed to this channel and you've watched to this moment, what are you waiting for? Please do well to subscribe down below, like, comment, and share. Until we see you again next time with another good information and juicy content. Thank you for watching and have a lovely day.